Hey guys, how's it going? I want to make a little video about palm oil. I've had this question a lot. I've run into it with people many times over the course of the last few years of my being vegan, and it's certainly a controversial topic. I'm not going to go into super detail, but I am going to provide links down below, and I'm going to talk for a moment about it. So first of all, boycotting palm oil will not help at all, not at all. The reason is that palm oil is the most sustainable vegetable oil crop on the face of the planet that we have existing right now. Now there is research out there on creating oil from certain kinds of bacteria and algae, but none of that is at a production scale and none of it is currently available on the market. It's probably between 15 and 20 years out if the research were to get funded fully, and it's not. So the big issue with palm oil is that it's not done responsibly. The current palm oil industry is driven by the government in Indonesia being bribed by corporations and the farmers there and here and other so-called first world nations like America, UK, Japan. Many orangutan conservation agencies in Indonesia and some of the other areas that it is a problem almost all unanimously recommend not boycotting palm oil, but helping to push for sustainable palm oil practices. And they are practical and they're possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read from orangutans-sos.org, and I'll link them down below this particular page. And they have an entire section set up about what we can do to push the agenda towards sustainable palm oil and the steps that would need to happen for that to be a reality. So the first thing we can do is stop converting high conservation value forests and high carbon stock areas, including peatland. We can also use degraded land that already exists, that had been clear cut previously, that's actually sitting abandoned for various reasons. One of the reasons that's not currently being used is their government has set it aside for other corporations. We can change that and flip the dynamic just by our choices. Now, one of the things we can do when we purchase products with palm oil in them, so let's say you can afford it, we'll start there, okay? Because not everybody can afford to get absolutely everything. I myself don't have a ton of money. I eat at the Dollar Tree a lot, and a lot of things have palm oil. It's certainly not sustainably farmed palm oil. But if you can afford it, let's say you want Oreos. Well, you can get Numinos instead. Numinos are sustainably farmed palm oil, and their sugar is vegan certified as well, their white sugar. One of the other big issues people don't talk about with palm oil is the exploitation of the human workers. A lot of it is planted, harvested, the forests are cleared, all with human slavery and child slave labor. It's a huge issue. It's a huge issue in a lot of industries, and the palm industry is no exception. Another way that we can move towards sustainable palm oil is within the extraction and production methods on the farms themselves, how they get the oil out of the plant. Right now, a lot is wasted, between 30 and 60-ish% from what I've read online. Again, these figures are not very hard because they're very secretive about a lot of what's going on there. There hasn't been much study really done on some of the hard figures. So a lot of it is wasted in production because I guess they don't care. So let's conclude this video. What can you do about palm oil? Well, you could boycott it, but it's really not a good idea. Because like I said, if you read into it, palm oil is the most sustainable out of any crop on the face of the earth right now to get oil from. You could avoid oil altogether, or you could push through social media, websites, phone calls to get things done sustainably. You can also look for products that are made with sustainable palm oil. And I think that's the way to go if you can afford to work within that. If you can't, don't feel guilty. Do the best you can with the means you've got at the time. Never let perfection be the enemy of good. I say that a lot when non-vegans try to talk to me and they say, they start talking about the insects in the field and the snakes and the rabbits and the deer and everything else that dies in the harvesting of plants. or the planting of plants, or the spraying, and whatever. And it's not about perfection. It's about doing the best you can from the circumstances you have at this moment. If you can afford to get everything palm oil free, that's incredible. Do it. If you can afford all sustainable, definitely do it. If you can't, don't beat yourself up too much. Do the best you can with the money you've got. I think that's about it. Together, through our choices, we can save the environment, the land, the people there that are slaves, and most importantly, the orangutans who are disappearing quickly. I mean, it's very clear that we're not going to be able to stop this train. The palm oil train is going. It left the station 40 years ago, just like bananas. When they cultivated those lands, they cut down all the forest. That's why we have bananas. We love bananas. Vegans eat tons of bananas. There's even a vegan on YouTube. What's her face? Some banana girl or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't follow everybody, but she eats tons of bananas, and those bananas all came from the same type of land that was clear cut, the same way palm oil is being done now. It's just it was done 50 years ago, and we're going through the same thing right now. We can redirect what's happening now in a more positive way, and that's what this video is really about. Is reality, because boycotting it isn't going to do anything. It's not. I know you're gonna be upset that I said that, but it's the truth. The reality is it's the best way to create vegetable oils. There isn't a better way right now, and it's the cheapest way, and we can make it the most sustainable way. It already is the most sustainable, but we can make it certainly more so and redirect the land usage so that we don't have to worry about clear cutting. Thank you.